me in particular, am live. I thought it was going to be some big event, but it appears not. It appears like it isn't. Uh, but yeah, it's just me this time around. It's hold on. Added the chat is all wonky. Chat is wonky. The There we go. All right, well, welcome Blackscreen episode 11. Never thought I'd make it, but here we are. Episode 11. Yeah, this episode was all about Godzilla. I mean, it was supposed to be about Doom Part 2, but a bunch of people in my Discord server says, "No, talk about Godzilla, please, I'm begging you." And now here I am, all alone. Nobody to bounce off of with. So, yeah, it was all for nothing. I can't even talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about. Instead, I had to talk about Godzilla. Here we are. This is the price I pay for all of you, by the way. This is the price I pay. So, yeah, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. I have nothing to say about that movie. That movie is absolute garbage. Absolutely terrible. It's horrendous in every aspect. It has zero redeeming qualities. It is exactly as I expected, a little bit worse. It is nothing short of just a piece of shit. I don't know what else to say about this movie. I mean, it's exactly what I expected it to be. It's exactly what I was fearing it would have been. And here we are. It's out. The movie's out. I watched it right after Doom Part 2, and it was garbage. It was just trash. And allow me to go on a bit of a rant. That So for starters, this movie is looking to break even in the box office, and that is terrifying. It is terrifying that movies like this are becoming successful because now Warner Brothers is gonna think we should make more of those, and then they're just going to ignore masterpieces like -1. They're gonna be like, oh, well, it seems like we can have both, and so they're gonna go, oh, we're gonna make more. We're gonna make more movies like GXK. We're gonna repeat the same thing that the Showa era did. Now, I was in a stream uh, the other day with Zimzilla where we were talking about Godzilla X Kong, and I was mentioning how Adam Wingard was trying to emulate the Showa era, and I was saying, oh well, instead of emulating such a failure, because after several movies we started getting
Boo.
diminishing
Boo.
returns. Oh, Brayden.
Hi.
Oh, you popped up just in time. At the pit of my despair, you saved me.
Oh. I don't know about saving you. I might just remind you why everything's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Why we're dying. Why things are crumbling in front of our eyes.
Oh, at the third minute, he returns.
Oh, that's pretty poetic for,
Hmm.
um,
Today.
yeah, exactly. Not to claim that I am of that status, but,
He is the
they,
Messiah.
no, 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 no. I'm not Paul Atreides. I'm not
He's too
here to
humble to say so.
rub the worm.
Today we were supposed to be talking about Dune, but I committed the mistake of using
Of asking the
democracy.
audience.
Yeah, of using democracy, and it flipped against me, and that just proves once and for all why democracy is failing, because it doesn't get to do the things that I want.
Homie, you're like a Godzilla-based channel. Of course, they're gonna choose the thing that
Uh, I
Uh,
set myself up for failure.
you. I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah.
I, yeah, I don't. I mean, it doesn't even supposed to be like a Godzilla based channel. It's just that the one thing I'm focusing on right now. So, like, would you call Mauler a Star Wars focused channel? Because, like, yeah, he took on.
Primarily,
Okay,
not
fair enough.
like completely, but he also has distinguished himself over time. But recently, you've been pretty big lizard, which like I'm also at fault of. I don't think I've had one non-lizard thing in a while. Then again, I don't really work on stuff, so that's kind of my fault.
Uh, Fair enough. Yeah, no, I was just complaining about how the Showa era doomed Godzilla in the long run. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was doomed from the start. That's kind of the thing is like 54 comes out, great movie. Should have stopped there.
Godzilla Raids Again is a miserable movie. Like, and I don't even mean that it's
Oh,
boring. I don't even mean that. I'm gonna
oh
be
my
terrible and say
god.
it's not miserable because it's boring. It's miserable because it's just so clunky and poorly written, and it's just bad. It's
Yeah.
just very badly written. There are points where they even recycle footage from
Yep, yep, especially in
in
the
the
ice
end.
scene. Yeah. God, I hate that movie. That's like it cycles between two other movies as my least favorite movie of all time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I have yet to review, like, give a proper analysis of the rest of the Showa era. I mean, I was supposed to watch King Kong versus Godzilla, but I couldn't decide whether I should watch the Japanese dub or the English dub, or whether it would even make a difference if I watched
it
either of
makes
them.
a difference. Watch the
The
Japanese.
Japanese one?
The Japanese is a lot, yeah, well put together.
Hmm. Interesting.
I respect that movie. I'm not a fan of it, but I at least respect it because like it's a full on comedy. So like when the kaiju do goofy stuff, you're laughing with the movie.
Uh,
Um, un-
I don't.
Unlike the later Showa era where it's just like, oh guys, look, we're so cool, but it looks so bad.
I really don't feel comfortable. Um, Laughing at something that Ishiro Honda wanted you to cry about. But I mean, it feels like a very tonal.
Well, he did direct it.
I know that he directed it, which is why I don't feel comfortable. But I mean, if that's
Um,
his vision, then I can't really, say anything
yeah,
about it.
I don't agree with the direction, but I'd say that movie definitely executes it the best. Because like it's all just slapstick, and it's pretty good slapstick. I'm just personally not a fan of slapstick.
I mean, I grew up with slapstick as a kid, so I probably would have a bigger appreciation of it than uh, people that haven't grown up with slapstick. But
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man, I don't. It, from what I have seen, because I have seen a lot from that movie in particular, especially growing up, it doesn't look good. But I mean, the writing is what's important. So I mean, as long as the writing is fine, like competent enough, I would more than likely give it a pass. But over time, the Showa era, yeah, it just doomed what Godzilla is going to become from here on out, because that was the foundation. We haven't had a Godzilla before, and let alone a franchise. This is its inception, basically. This is its birth. It's basically taken its first baby steps, and it trips over its own puke and snaps its own neck, and now you have to give birth to Godzilla all over again with the Heisei era. And then the Heisei era takes its first
and,
few steps,
and
stumbles,
then it
falls
follows the
off a
same trend.
cliff. Yeah. And then the Millennium era happens, and it takes its few steps, walks into a bear trap, and then falls into a ditch. And then the Monsterverse is running, not even walking, it's running all the way into a spike wall. So no matter how you go about it, it still ends in disaster. I can only, like, you can see this is um this is like the beginning of the end for Godzilla in the Monsterverse, because King of Godzilla versus Kong, I would say, was a premonition of what Godzilla is about to become, and now we see what Godzilla is becoming. Like we are seeing the transformation live before our eyes, and it's not a pretty one. It is not a pretty one. I mean,
Yeah, literally as well. Like these movies just don't even look good anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That like this movie is just visual, like just noise. It is genuinely one of the most disgusting movies I've seen. It it's just noise. Like there's like no focus or direction to it. It's just ugh. And like the
I was having an
hmm.
argument with this guy, and he started saying that that it didn't matter because there are different lenses in which you can view the quality of a movie, and the
Oh my
quality
god.
of yeah, and the quality of a Godzilla movie would be dictated by how many monster fights there were. But that would be him separating Godzilla movies as a separate thing, and I have to ask why. And the reason
Well,
why Godzilla movies are judged this way, separate from other movies, is because they have been so bad for so long
yep,
that you no longer expect quality from it, and all you expect now is the bare minimum. And if it satisfies the bare minimum, then it'll be enough, which
dude,
is a sad,
we're
sick.
below the bare minimum at this point.
Yeah,
Like
it is
we're
just
we're far below that.
pathetic.
No, but what's interesting is like to use that line of reasoning, quote unquote. It's how many monster fights there are. What if I what if by that logic you judged a comedy movie based on how many jokes there are? Like, would that be as fair? I don't think anyone in their right mind would agree it would be. So then you'd have to make an indicator that would determine, oh, so it's not how many jokes, but it's the quality of the jokes. It's the placement of them. And then at that point you have to have a standard in order to be consistent. And then the previous standard of it's how many monster fights, it falls apart.
Yeah, especially if the monster fights suck. But at that point, the only determining factor as to whether if the monster fights suck or not is if they made you smile and made you clap, and that's just a lot of things can make you smile and clap. The
I
good,
smile and clap when I find a penny on the floor.
yeah, if you if you find actual good fights to that make you if you find that good fights make you clap just as bad as the bad fights, then at that point your standard is useless because there's no differentiating between what is actually good and what it is you like. You're not really setting a proper difference. So it's a useless standard. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not helpful to anyone. At least, of course, unless you're talking with a Godzilla fan, in which I mean their only media consumption, their only media diet is Godzilla and or Godzilla related content, in which all they
to
see
be
is just
fair, I'm
fights.
guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch anything.
and God's and he also said that Pacific Rim didn't even have a story, which I mean, does it have a good like a
No.
masterpiece of a story? Does it have like a super deep, profound? Is it like super well written? No, there are things missing. There are a lot of problems with Pacific Rim, but that doesn't mean the story is non-existent. Let alone that the story is like you know void
I'm
of
very
any.
critical of Pacific Rim. I don't think it's a very good movie, but I would say there's at least like some stuff in there that is worth appreciating. That I hate to say this because it really is indicative of like how bad it all is. It's a lot better than most kaiju movies, which is just pathetic.
Yeah, the very reason, but and he says he loves this movie too, which is kind of a strange thing. But the very fact that he says this is just, and not to throw shade, but this definitely grinded my gears a little bit. Now I told him
Yeah,
that
clearly enough to where you've devoted like over 5 minutes to this one conversation you had.
yeah, no, this isn't the first time we've talked about conversations. We This isn't the first time we talked about things like this. There was this. You know how the director has made shot scenes that would add context to the story and the characters, and pretty much a bunch of scenes that would have improved the movie, but they were cut because number one, it would have made the movie a little bit too long, and number two, nobody really cared about it. The fact that they even thought about making the movie even better just goes to show how well the movie could have been if it weren't for the people that keep saying that we're only here for the monsters, because the reason why it was cut is because of them, because those people did not care about the story. Now, if and why didn't they care about the story? Well, because all the monster movies that they have seen, a lot of them would have been Godzilla movies, because that Godzilla movies are like the dominating force in the monster movie landscape. And the only reason why you would even think that the humans were a waste of time is if they were written improperly. Because a good written human story, like 9 out of 10 times, it's probably not going to be boring. Because like with -1, there was always going to be that one person that didn't like the human story, and at that point, that would I would consider that a victim of the sentiment that humans don't matter in a monster movie. Um, but the but over time, like these movies from the Showa era to the Millennium era, all the stories are just not good. I mean,
Yeah,
I
they're
would
pretty
argue
bad.
that the Showa era, I mean, the Heisei era at the very least tries its absolute best. Does it succeed?
That ain't trying the best. It
I
is
mean,
trying, but it is not giving its best at all.
oh yeah, I mean yeah, especially.
Um, I think what's so insulting, and I am gonna say insulting about primarily the well, actually no, the Heisei is guilty of this too. Well, pretty much the whole franchise as a whole. Just it really starts in the Showa era, and the Showa era is usually where most people pointed out, is just how empty the movies are. Like but they act like they're more. Like each movie like claims it has like this deep, powerful theme, but it's just like mentioned in a few lines or just like quote unquote subtly shown in some imagery or whatever, and then I guess that we're supposed to give it props for that because it mentioned it, because now it's worth something simply because oh it's about warring nations because they come together and fight. It's like, is that really your standard? Like, is that what's deep to you, to where it's just like, oh, it vaguely references this theme, and I guess now the whole thing is worth something.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's so vapid. I mean, that's the franchise as a whole, and it's kind of funny because, well, I think that's pretty indicative of where we're headed.
A
What's
lot of
going
the time the themes are
on?
not even there. They just the plot line,
Exactly.
the plot threads just are interwoven theme wise so that it has a vague resemblance of a theme, and people scraping at the very bottom of the barrel are using that to extrapolate a deep thematic through line that is simply not there. It's just a mirage of a theme. It's not an actual theme. If you look
Do
at people trying
you
to analyze GXK to be like, oh, it's thematic, it's about how slavery is bad and we have to come together to defeat slavery. Like,
Unite, 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 unite.
exactly, just unite. Like, so
it's lame.
it's
It's just
lame,
lame.
and we don't mean like, and we mean lame as in like it's walking on a single peg leg. It was just it is just anemic. It's an anemic strategy. It's useless. Like you can when this is like I want us to call it reductive, but I mean, is it really? I don't think. Well, no, that's not the right word. Uh, but yeah, no, like saying that monster movies don't need to be anything other than that is super reductive, because if I just say, "Oh, Star Wars is just a movie about space wizards intended for children," um,
It's a movie made for 12-year-olds.
yeah, yeah, like if you reduce anything to the bare bones, it's gonna look stupid.
Yeah,
If you reduce any piece of fiction to its absolute, barest of bones, it's gonna look ridiculous. The
12,
point,
12 angry men, more like just dudes shouting in a room over something that like they should figure out instantly. That's stupid.
yeah,
Why would you? Ew. His sled was named Rosebud. Ew, that's stupid. Who would write that? That's so dumb.
Yeah, it is reductive and it's absolutely useless. It devalues art. The embracing of stupidity does not give it any merit. You're just acknowledging that it exists, and you're stupid too for acknowledge for embracing it. That just like that if embracing stupidity does not make stupidity less stupid. It makes you more stupid.
What I've always wondered is when people use the argument of like, oh, it's meant for kids, or oh, it's not, it is supposed to be stupid. It's like, what does that say about yourself? Like, I don't mean that as an insult, but just like running through that very line of logic, like the people that claim that, like, if you are defending to death something is of quality or shouldn't be of quality simply because it's supposed to be dumb or it's for kids, but you are the very one that is consuming it with this like fervor, then what does that say about you? And because like the people that are saying that, they are the ones making that claim. I ain't making that claim. That's their own words. What does that mean
I
when you
don't think
extend
kids
that
are
line
making
of
that claim
reasoning?
either.
Yeah, kids would actually like try to. That's the thing is like if you asked a child that was like actually willing to discuss, they'd actually probably try to get pieces and put it together and make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Um, like kids are stubborn. But most people are just like, it's for children. It's like, okay, what does that say about you?
Were you a child? Um, and I think that I mean people I think the counter would to that would be, well, adults consume kids media all the time.
And then I'd still go back to what does that say about you? Like, what?
I'm gonna be completely honest. The only time I've ever heard of an adult consuming media for children is if the media for children was mature enough to appease an adult audience as well, like
Like
Batman the
Bluey.
animated series, the like even like TV shows as innocuous as Kid Cosmic can still be watched for adults. It can still be watched by adults because it doesn't treat any member of the audience like they're stupid. It treats them with respect, and the writing is good enough to um, warrant analysis by an adult as well as the casual, passive enjoyment of a child. And even then, like a child would probably start to pick up on the adult stuff anyway. Just look at literally any superhero show to come out in the early 2000s, like a Static Shock, Spectacular Spider-Man, Batman the Animated Series, The Batman, um, Teen Titans, even Young Justice to an extent, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, it's Superman the Animated Series. I could go on. I could go on and on and on. Like Spider-Man the Animated Series, that was huge. Like because of the censorship of that show. Recently, we can go at recent movies. The Spider-Verse movies, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, um, even Disney movies and also have this. You know,
Hey,
Zootopia to an extent. I mean, I despise
uh,
Zootopia, but
homie, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just found out. So it's not even Easter yet. Um, Godzilla and Kong is approaching 194 million worldwide.
oh, well, that's fine. Dune is just broke 600 million, so the world is balancing out.
You know it's gonna pass Dune, right? At this rate, it's gonna pass Dune. On okay, the second week is gonna be a huge determiner. Like, if it has a harsh drop, then yeah, it's not gonna pass Dune. But if it has legs, it's gonna.
Oh,
Oh, I made a joke if it passes a billion, I'll delete the channel. But like, I might have to delete the channel.
uh, like in a perfect world, in a world where
I
things
delete
made
the channel.
sense, like the world usually does make sense, but this is one of those times where humanity makes it not make sense, and if it, I don't understand. Like, how could we stoop so low in terms of like quality? Someone in the chat, Aleph says, 12-year-olds deserve better. I hate the idea that the only way that Godzilla movies can be fun is to insult the audience's intelligence while they're at it. I don't think they're insulting the audience per se, but they're rather. This is like high budget Coco Melon.
It is. It like legit is.
This is what
This is like
Godzilla X
Cocoa
Kong is.
Melon.
It's high. It's high. It's like
It's
a high
it's
budget
the
Coco Melon.
sensory videos.
Yeah, those videos that are used to both turn off your brain and
I mean, even Wingard is like, I want it to look like a toy aisle. Like, what?
yeah,
What? What is that? Like what? Also, the more I hear Wingard, the more
you dislike
here.
him.
Let me. Well, I'm gonna stand by this. I don't. He doesn't know like how to properly form his thoughts. He just doesn't. Like it comes off as rambling, and I will stand by that. And I have numerous examples of that. And the most recent one is him saying, "Someone, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this." So he was asked, "What makes Scar King different from any other villain in the Monsterverse?" And his response was, "What makes Scar King so interesting is he was always designed to be sort of the anti-Kong." Okay, kind of weird, but I think okay.
I don't know what he
There's
would say.
something very human about him, so it's a little scarier. You ready? You ready? Here's the kicker.
What?
Because he's making the decision to do what he's doing that's bad.
What?
He's making the decision to do what he's going to do because that's bad.
Oh, give me a second. Give me a second.
He probably went to scream or something or cry or so you're just left with me and the voices. What what are y'all's voices saying? Like, what do they tell you? They tell me to eat food off the floor. What do they tell you guys? My voices can get pretty loud. Like, you space out of conversations because the voices are just, you know, speaking. So, yeah. So, happy Easter, y'all. This is a great way to spend it. Talking about a stupid lizard and a monkey, and the stupider doggy-like lizard and the um stupider monkey. So, I hope y'all can go to mass, praise Jesus, not thinking of a stupid lizard and monkey. So, uh, yeah, I'd I so what are y'all's IP addresses? How about that? Like just put it in the chat. It's like put your IP address and um oh, okay, so I do have to entertain y'all. So once upon a time there was a giant lizard that like destroyed cities or something, and then all of a sudden he just became a poop and jerk that like started doing really stupid stuff. And you know I'm of course talking about Wingard's Godzilla, who just is an absolute a-hole to everyone and just picks fights and just he's so unlikable now. Like I just a jerk. He's just mean to everyone. It's just why Wingard? Like is this how you see the giant lizards? Is this guy that just bullies everyone? Because like it all started in GVK when he should have been, restoring balance, protecting nature, and like stopping Mechagodzilla, but instead he just harasses Kong just for the sake of it. And it's like, really? Come on, dude. Like the the 2014 and 2019 Godzilla would not do that. They would ignore Kong and then just stop Mechagodzilla. And then now he's yeah, he defended a city from Scylla, whatever. But then he destroys a nuclear power plant. And it's like, wait, so like what's your standard, bro? Like, are you gonna like do you care about humans? Do you care about protecting? Is it just the territory you're trying to protect? And then he picks a fight with Tiamat. Like, yes, he's trying to get in the lair, but he makes the first blow. And that's straight up her territory. And if he was just defending territory, why does he get it right? Oh, because he's the alpha. It's like, isn't he supposed to be respectful of them? Um, Or just like leave them alone? Or like can he try like communicating since it's been established that, the kaiju can communicate with each other? But no, he just kills her. He's such a jerk. God. It it just makes him unlikable because he's supposed to be one of the heroes and he's supposed to be like a restorer of balance and all that, but just like if he's just a dictator, he's just as bad as the villain. Like it's awful. Ugh. Yeah. So that's Godzilla's characterization and why someone said Scylla didn't pay rent. Oh, that's probably true. If Godzilla is a landlord, might as well tip your landlord. Maybe give him a kiss on the lips. Just general stuff you would do for your landlord. Uh Hope you all enjoyed that. Um, I I have a lot that I could say, but I don't know which specific thing I'm going to bring up. So I guess I'll just start rambling, which is the visual effects of this movie are horrible, specifically Godzilla. Wingard has an odd obsession of like jiggling parts of Godzilla's body in the most random, like directionless way. Um was it at the end of the nuclear power plant scene, um he like roars up at the camera and his jaws just like flopping or like why? Oh, hey, Owen's here. Hi, Owen. How you doing, homie? He said I think there were only 4 good shots in the whole movie. uh yeah, the main reference I think of is Kong roaring in Egypt. It's a close up. I can't think of any well animated shots. Like the animation in this movie is absolutely horrendous. The quote unquote best animation is just like it looks to be raw mocap data. Well, not raw, but like only mildly touched up for Kong or any of the apes. But then again, if it's just the mocap data from a human, it doesn't scale properly, so then it just looks bad overall. The texture work on all the kaiju is just so weird. Godzilla's so glossy and like he looks like a toy. Like it's funny because Wingard's like, "Oh, I wanted it to be like a toy aisle." Yeah, your kaiju look like toys. They feel like toys too. They feel so small, which yeah, I've become known as the scale guy. There's so much to unpack about this movie, like so pooping much. Like each shot you could make at the very least, like minimum, it would take probably like 2 to 3 minutes. Um, oh yeah, let me up my gain. Ba, ba, ba. Here we go. Um, oh, now he's just turning me up. So I guess I lower my gain. Where do I find this? Yeah. So like, it's just it's awful. Um, it's just a disgusting looking movie. The audio's still gone, so
Uh,
I'll just keep making the all-star sound. So
yep, I'm audible now.
yeah, of like and then keep on coming
How about now?
Oh wow. Oh, and I'm like peaking. Yeah, I'm peaking. Let me turn my gain down. Let me turn my gain down. Let's see, is that better? Wait, I'm not gonna peak anymore. Oh, I don't peak anymore.
How about now? Or what?
Audible. You're sponsored by Audible.
There we go.
You have a discount. Use /Rooney to support the channel. You'll get 0% off.
I don't know how long I can keep this stream, to be honest. This is a very um not a good day today. I mean, it's Easter, but yeah, no, it's been very, how do I put it?
Wingard keeps attacking.
Yeah.
He's sending his forces. He's sending the Scar. Oh my god, that name's so stupid.
I hate this movie, but I don't have the energy to hate it as much as I do Godzilla versus Kong. It's just bad. I went more about it in detail in Zimzilla's stream if any of you want to check it out, but yeah, no, it's
I'm very apathetic. Like, it's not like as catastrophic as like King of the Monsters or Godzilla vs. Kong, so I'm just like, well, it's a bad movie. I ain't really gonna.
sugarcoat it.
Yeah, it's just. I just. Yeah, it's just okay.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Godzilla x Kong is very poorly written. I wish I could go into detail, but I don't want to.
I feel that.
I don't want to. Like, I already did that with Zimzilla's stream. I don't feel like I need to do that again. I don't feel the responsibility to go repeat myself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. That's why I've been rambling and vague, because I'm waiting until Luis and Jaden have seen it, and then we could all just like kill it. Well, it'll kill us first, so
yeah.
I don't think that's a very fair trade, but you know,
It's a
part of making the content.
lose. It loses its life, and you lose your sanity in the process. It's a bit of a fair trade, if you ask me. But yeah, no, this movie is just. I mean, if we're gonna talk about the plot, I mean, the introduction of the Iwis and their thing. It's By the way, do you hear any noise in the background?
A little shaking, but and like static. About that's about it.
Yeah, no, I can't do anything about that because I'm in a very noisy place right now, so I can't really do anything about the noise. But yeah, the Iwi Palace. Let's start with that. If you want to like go into the plot, like we can start with the Iwi Palace. The introduction of these new pyramids are stupid. And let's talk about why. The reason why it's stupid is because, number one, we've already established that the Iwi all died. So, now, could they have escaped to the Hollow Earth? Yes. How?
Well, the implication is that they originated from there.
Okay, how would they have left to the surface world then?
Portal.
How would they go through the portal without the proper
Iwi magic. It's don't think about it. It's a big lizard.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Like, no matter how you slice it, whether they originated from the Hollow Earth or they originated from Earth and went to the Hollow Earth, no matter how you slice it, there's absolutely no way they could have arrived there without being like crunched to death.
Yeah.
Now, the obvious explanation for the monster movie fan would be, oh, Mothra took them there. And I just think, I mean, sure, fine, I guess. Mothra took an entire race of people to the surface world.
It's a lot of work.
Well, not Monarch, Mothra. Did I say Monarch or Mothra? I don't remember which one.
I said Mothra.
Oh, Mothra. Okay, Mothra took them there. Why? When and why is the important part. Why? Why would she do that?
Also, I find it kind of stupid how suddenly like psychics exist now, and there's like psychic energy and all that poop.
I always just
Um,
imagined it to be radiation taken to its absolute most fictional, fantastical extreme.
I burst out laughing in the theater when what is it? Gia drew those drawings, and then Rebecca Hall's like, the patterns match up, and it's just like three triangles.
Yeah,
It's like, really, really, just those three shapes happen. Like there's not even like this. Let's say like Gia drew out like the identical like squigglies of the patterns. Okay, that'd be more believable. But she drew three triangles. Like,
it's
really?
symbolic. It's the symbolic of the three pyramids. Ooh. They're trying to do this apocalyptic vision thing, and it just comes across as, a plot device, which it absolutely is. It's a plot device to bring forth Mothra. And when she
Rooney,
doesn't
turn
even.
up your gain. Apparently, your audio is too low.
My what?
Your audio is too low. Turn it up a bit.
How about now?
I guess we'll have to wait till the chat catches up.
Chat, is my audio audible enough? I can't look at the screen, so. Actually, hold on. Let me actually try to look at the screen.
Do, 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 do.
Louder. Is he saying to make it louder or that I am louder?
I think he's saying to make it louder.
Okay, how about now? Is it good enough there, or do I need to up? Like, this is as high as it goes. I don't know if chat, because I'm very close to the microphone right now. Make it louder. I I literally can't. This is as high as it goes. I don't know how else to. I'm
Just
very.
shout,
I am very close
yell.
to the mic right now. Um, Maybe if I up the gain of the audio input capture. How about that? Is it good enough there? Or? Oh, I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Let me do a little thing. Yes. How about now?
Whoa, that is a jump.
What is? Did I do a jump
Uh, in
volume?
yeah. Hopefully it's not too much for the audience, but do we even have much to go over? Like, honestly.
Um, I guess we can just go over how this could affect the Monsterverse in the long run. The new empire. We could talk about that. I guess. I mean, it's the most we're able to.
I think they're gonna make more and they're gonna be stupider.
And then diminishing returns, and Godzilla goes on hiatus again.
Exactly.
And yeah, this movie's success proves nothing. To be honest, all it proves is that it's begun. I can see this people going that this is just coping, but it's really not. The same thing happened with the Showa era. I mean, we got after King Kong versus Godzilla. What was
I'll be back.
what? Did you say something or? Oh, he'll be back. Oh, okay. I don't know if because what was the movie after King Kong versus Godzilla? I don't remember. Was it Son of Godzilla? Was it Godzilla versus Megalon? Or oh no! Hold on. It was either Godzilla versus Mothra or the Ghidorah movie, Ghidorah the three-headed monster. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was one of the two. Uh, I don't remember, but whichever movie it was, I mean, it was more than likely a lot sillier than King Kong versus Godzilla. And I say you invest your money in something better than Godzilla X Kong. I say you invest your money in actual good content. Dune Part 2 is still in theaters. You should just invest your money in Dune Part 2. I wish I could watch. If I could watch it twice, I would, but I physically can't. But I've considered it because Dune Part 2 is a masterpiece. Now it's not a perfect movie, and it's the movie I wanted to talk about, but it's good enough. You know, it is good enough that it deserves your attention. It does a
Hey,
lot of things right, and
um, would you be down for Jaden joining? Jaden hasn't seen the movie,
oh,
so
sure,
we
sure.
could. Okay, cool. Do I just add Jaden here? You good if I do that?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Let's see. There we go. Jaden is going to see the movie later today.
Oh, that is just
So
great. Continue giving it your money. Just throw your money at the
I mean,
pigs.
technically the money's already been given, but
Oh,
you know.
pre-ordered the ticket.
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't I don't know when Luis is gonna see it.
hmm.
Um
I just, I mean, I can't stop anybody from using their money however they wanted to, but at least I can just warn you to watch
no,
something
he's
better.
robbing a bank.
Yeah, don't throw your jewels at pigs. Throw it at a stripper instead.
Uh
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was like aren't we both Christians here? Aren't we?
Hey, hey,
Uh
I'm joking. But no, seriously, Dune. Just watch Dune instead. Dune is an excellent piece of media. Like it even got the giant monster part down. It's even got the giant worms, like the sandworm attack. It's probably the best part of the movie.
mm,
Now
worm.
my favorite part is when uh, Paul Atreides is giving his speech at the siege, where people are starting to recognize that he is the Lisan al Gaib, and it sounds a lot like a Pentecostal preacher, which is why I like it so much because, it brings me back to those days where I was always hyped up. I mean, now I'm dejected when I listen to them, but now, like back in the day, I used to be like excited. They would get me pumped up, and yeah, that hit a person with me. That scene, it hit me hard. It basically made me reflect on my relationship with religion as a whole. That scene in particular. That's why I love it so much. Yeah.
I'll watch it one day.
Hmm?
I'll watch it one day.
Uh, it's a good movie. It's excellent.
I've heard good things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where the other beaner is right now, by the way.
Oh, so
But
Jaden is not joining.
well, Jaden was like, "Give me a moment," and then I'm like, "Oh, I added you," and then sent a video of Cringe Nipper coming out of the ice. An hour,
An hour.
homie.
What?
Gotta take my medicine so my throat can clear up.
Oh, I mean, we don't really have an hour because we don't have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just
Hold
cope
on.
and seethe, as the
I
fans
was
say
gonna
to do.
say.
Like, that's all we really
Yeah.
can do at the end of the day, right? Um, oh, it was Mothra versus Godzilla. Okay. Okay, it was Mothra versus Godzilla. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's oh, I mean, I'm trying to muster up things to say that I haven't already said. I mean, I don't want to be redundant. I guess you could. Um. Hmm. The fact that this was a Kong movie originally and they just shoved Godzilla in without thinking about it. That's it's another thing, right? This was a Kong movie and Godzilla is just kind of there in the background, just going on a Titanicide. It pretty much confirmed my original theory that Godzilla is going on a Titanicide spree, just killing Titans left and right. Now, the reason why that is not completely confirmed, but I have predicted that this is what Godzilla has been doing since Godzilla versus Kong, and I'm glad to be proven right. But billions of people are dying, and the only lives that are acknowledged are the most unimportant ones, which are the ones that died in the Hollow Earth. So I think that's very telling on where Adam Wingard's priorities are. I mean, he's never really been hidden when it comes to his priorities, but still, his priorities are garbage.
Are you able to stream video like that is sent?
Right now, no,
Ooh.
unfortunately.
Because Jaden sent a video that it shows how often like the roars are reused, and like disgustingly so. Like it's just the same roar again and again.
Yeah, that's the thing though, right? I'm pretty sure that most people that like this movie are not gonna care. So like, even if we showed them to, I guess you could link it in the chat, but
Well, it's a Discord video, so
oh,
like. Also, it shows how awful Godzilla's random jiggle is.
yeah,
I just don't understand Wingard's obsession with jiggle.
he's got a Godzilla fetish. I mean, people in my friend group accuse me of uh practicing bestiality because
Okay, but he's kind of hot.
because I love Godzilla so much. First of all, love. We have a love-hate relationship. All right.
I have spite. I only have spite. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
No, I have a love-hate relationship because sometimes I love him, sometimes I hate him. But never to the extent where I want to sleep with Godzilla. Um, the accusations are unfounded, save for that one time where I made a joke about a cloaca. But other than that, there's not a lot to go by. There's not a lot to go by when accusing me of being a lizard, a Godzilla file. But meanwhile, when Adam Wingard, I can probably reverse the accusation to him, and I could probably give you evidence that he is a lizard file. He's a Godzilla file. I mean, just from the
He made his balls jiggle.
what little there may be, because his balls. He was neutered after King of the Monsters.
Yeah, Doherty cut his balls.
Yeah, it was sad. It was a sad day for all men who could relate to Godzilla. Yeah. Sad day, but yeah.
I can't wait till like the movie comes out on home video so that we can go clip by clip and just break down like what it's just horrible.
I promised myself I wasn't gonna make a video on Godzilla X Kong, and I'm gonna keep that promise. I'm not gonna make a video on this movie. Does not deserve an analysis of like the writing or anything. This doesn't deserve a single thing. There's just nothing to. It's just a big fat nothing. Is what this movie is. It is just nothing. I always believed as a kid. Well, not as a kid, more like a middle schooler. That
That still is a kid.
okay, fair enough, Mr.
If you're in high school, you're still a kid.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. Middle school me used to, got obsessed with physics, things that I clearly did not understand. And I concocted this theory. This theory postulated that there is too many things in the universe for such a thing as nothing to exist. I always said that nothing did not exist because
I mean, the existence of nothing is a thing.
yeah,
Thereby, it's a paradox.
Yeah, I always believe that it was that the paradox could not justify itself. So, like nothing as a concept cannot exist. Like there's just too many things in the universe for nothing to exist. And uh, from an if you're looking at the etymology, that word, that word always stumps me. Um, if you're looking at the the origin of the word,
Almost there. Oh, okay.
like no thing, like if you're pointing at no thing, it is it like if you can even describe it as being nothing, is it really nothing? That was my thought process at the time. And now I'm looking at Godzilla X Kong, and I'm just thinking, damn, that's a whole big fat pool of nothing. If I showed this movie to my younger self, he would probably go, "Oh, so that's what nothing is." Ah, thank you, future me. And I would go, "You're welcome." And then beat beat the ever loving hell out of him for all the decisions he made afterwards that I still haunt me to this day.
You should beat him.
Right,
They
we should
couldn't
be
get
lining
her.
up. Just give me a second.
Couple seconds. Still labeled as upcoming.
A new empire.
New Peak Pyre.
All right. They're blocked.
I had a shot for every time you blocked me.
No. I don't want to watch this movie.
My God, it's already made 194 million.
Oh, we're cooked.
Oh, Jaden, why, homie? Why?
The
Why?
fucking shoulder uppercut.
Oh, hey, it says we're live. Let's see.
Oh, are we?
Oh, yeah, we are. Just the format.
Now we're live. There it is.
whack. There's no anticipation
way.
of that. He just shoots up and then he just pauses in the air.
Look at the scale.
Super
Oh,
live.
his legs shoot down too.
Wait.
Yeah, look at his legs. He
Oh my.
judders and then shoots his left leg down.
That's so stupid.
All
Hmm.
right, I'm back.
Imagine being an animator, being like, you're gonna work on Godzilla, and then you get the previs for this shot, and it's like, we want you to copy that. Just like,
Probably quit.
oh, okay.
Oh god.
And they're like, yeah, this will look good on your reel, guys.
I'm not putting a reel up.
That close up of his eye looks good though.
I think it's very. I mean, it's high fidelity, but like the texturing is.
I think
He's so rocky.
Yeah.
Doherty
Let me,
feels knowing that he gave Wingard the glow stick.
I'm willing to bet the only reason why the movie cost 135 million is because they reused models.
Well,
I mean, it looks like they just didn't put much effort in terms of like, because there's so many low fidelity assets just in general. Like the pooping apes look awful. But I think another big thing is just Wingard seems to be allergic to like heavy FX simulations. Like there's barely any smoke. There's like the water's so thin. There's like not much volume to it, and that saves a chunk of money.
Yeah.
That's part of why King of the Monsters was so insanely expensive, was because the storms, the rain, all that. Like MPC had to compile their biggest FX team in the history of the company for that movie.
Yeah, and of course it still looks like shit.
Yeah.
Imagine all that work and you drop like the worst.
Which is a shame because like it didn't have to. Like storms could look beautiful, but for some reason they went with that like putrid, puke green palette and
No, the entire movie is just an oversaturated blob of color mess.
yeah,
That's all it is. Like there's no people want to complain about the lighting in 2014, like you can't see shit. Well, sure, but at least the lighting was good and realistic, despite how ridiculous, poorly dark it was and whatnot. But like with King of the Monsters, it's just fucking atrocious with everything because you can't even tell how good the CGI is because it's all being hidden by all the goddamn smoke and rain.
I mean, I think that could work. They just went way overboard.
No, like every single scene is just an oversaturated color. It's either a heavy blown out blue, a heavy orange, or a gross green, or whatever. Like there's nothing else. There's not a single. Actually, there's only one shot that I remember from King of the Monsters that looks good, and it has nothing to do with any monsters or whatever. It's the shot where Millie Bobby Brown's character is like walking out of the terrorist facility, and as she's going to like where was it, Chicago it took place in?
Yeah.
And like as she's walking over the
Boston,
ridge,
Boston.
Yeah, Boston. When she's walking over the ridge, and it reveals Boston and like everyone evacuating, and it's just like very simple gray, normal rain clouds and whatnot. That was the only good shot out of the entire film compared to everything else of the fucking style they were trying to go with.
How do you
Hello?
communicate all of this coupled with the bad quality of Godzilla X Kong and Godzilla vs. Kong? How do you communicate this to someone who doesn't care?
You don't, because you need like you need to have the capability to try to see outside of what you're thinking in order to get there. But for those that are closed off and are just like, I don't care, everything's fine, then you're not going to get anywhere.
We're only here to see the monster fights. It's like I said, that sentiment has been a blight on Monsterverse discussion and just monster movie discussion in general. It's been detrimental.
Well,
that's all that matters. Like Godzilla, hell, even Godzilla fans don't care. They just don't. They say they do, but they actually do. They do not give a shit. They just want to see Godzilla and Kong doing shit and nothing else.
That's why I got into CG in the first place, is because I'm like, all right, let me get to your level. Let me show you why these fights are bad.
Yeah,
and
it's like it wasn't working. It wasn't working the first time. Like with the writing, it wasn't working. Discussing the writing, so now you're gonna break down the one thing that people say is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But even then, they come up with random excuses that make no sense.
Oh god, I just realized looking at Godzilla's shoulder when he's laying down in the Coliseum, his shoulder stretches out so much.
Oh yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah,
it bulges out. Holy fuck.
God. I feel so bad for that model. Guys, that used to be Garagoji.
I know. That's sad.
Like, that used to be Garagoji.
Look how far we've fallen since 2014.
Oh my god. Then he became Dogoji, then they retextured him again for GVK, and then Wingard's like, I'm gonna touch you. Touched him.
Okay, I don't think he said that.
I'm gonna touch you.
He went up to Dogoji and he's like, listen, they already took your balls. They already touched you and just kind of along your back.
I'm gonna take everything.
I'm gonna take everything. I'm gonna touch all of you. And he did.
You were right, Brayden, with the stream that you had the other day, saying that this movie was miserable, saying that well, not miserable, but saying that watching this movie. Hold on.
I was like nothing. I just felt nothing. I was apathetic.
Like it was like sad. You described it as being sad.
Yeah.
You were right. Like it wasn't even funny bad. It was just sad.
Yeah, the only part that got me laughing, like genuinely, was you were using a certain someone as a club.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
using Superman as a club. Yeah.
Everyone laughed at that. Like that's literally the film's highlight. Is just Kong swinging the sickle around.
Yeah.
So
I should ask, did any of you notice that Zuko is actually a few meters taller than Kong was in King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Homie,
and
that was pointed out in the first trailer.
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Nobody noticed.
Like,
You want to know why?
Because it
nobody
never
cares.
feels like it.
Yeah, because the scaling is, and pardon my French, the scaling is fucked.
Oh, big time. It's
Yeah, no,
it's
like
awful.
when it came to like the scene with all the apes and Kong interacting, like it's a great scene in terms of like visual storytelling, but in terms of like these being 300, 200 plus tall monsters,
They're
it
just
just
like
feels like
dudes.
yeah, they're just like at most like 20 feet tall. It feels like, but like I will say this though, ironically and comparatively to like GVK or King of the Monsters, I'd say uh, the human characters, despite how generic and surface level the story is, with the whole Gia doesn't belong anywhere and shit. Like I feel like Bernie, Trapper, Rebecca Hall, and Gia are like the best comparatively. I would put them like below, like third place below Bryan Cranston's character Joe, and then Packard and Marlowe from Skull Island. Like I think those are like the three best characters in all the MonsterVerse, and then
I
like
mean,
I'm just biased towards Trapper because I thought Trapper was pretty fucking cool, but also stupid at the same time.
I think the
hated
thing with
Trapper by
them
virtue of
is
him being a hippie. I just hate hippies.
I didn't have a problem with that. I just think the one scene with them talking about the fucking mosquito was retarded. With like, oh, she needs it more than me, dude. That's a fucking mosquito.
Oh yeah, what if he dies
They're
from
lit-
radiation poisoning?
they're literally useless. Yeah, they're literally useless. Oh my god, that's right. Like after like there's a very brief moment where Godzilla's at the French nuclear reactor, and then like all the soldiers are coming in, and they have the fucking Geiger counter, and they're like, it's we have to get out of here because of the radiation or whatever. Now radiation's an issue after King of the Monsters and all
Yeah.
this shit. That's
Footprint.
Remember when
like if any
Unanimous said that King of the Monsters was actually good? Bring up that scene. I wanted to talk to him about it, but I didn't have the time. But
no
next time,
no King of the
yeah, just bring up that scene where he.
I don't care. King of the Monsters is not a good movie, and it's not a good
It's horrible.
Godzilla movie.
it's awful. I still believe it is the worst MonsterVerse movie.
It is.
That movie
It literally
just
is. Like
a
it's
mess. It's such a mess.
hell. If we were going to even though Rotten Tomatoes is fucking useless, if we were going to compare Godzilla and Kong to King of the Monsters, King of the Monsters is fucking worse in scores. So like,
I hate that.
it really says a lot.
I hate it when people say it's a good or a bad movie, and it's a good or a bad Godzilla movie. Because what's the difference? It's still a movie.
I would put it this way. I would say, even though I say 1998 is better than King of the Monsters, 1998 is a bad Godzilla movie because it's not Godzilla. It's just you take Godzilla out of the title and it's just your average monster movie.
Fred.
Huh?
His name is Fred.
It's Zilla, whatever.
No, his name is Fred. They named him Fred on set. His name is Fred.
I feel like being a good Godzilla movie just means Godzilla shows up more than like 5 minutes.
I mean, I could kind of see an argument in terms of like faithfulness. Then you could be like, okay, well, how faithful is this? Thereby,
that too.
Turning into if it's a good Godzilla movie or not.
Yeah, like it is a more. It's still got the element of Godzilla with radioactivity and everything. It's probably
tragic monster.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
it's somewhat faithful in that vein. It just doesn't look like Godzilla.
It's only faithful in terms of like the nuclear bombing's origin. That's where the faithfulness for Godzilla starts, and it's where it ends. And then of course Japanese. Hell, not even Japanese connection. It's connected to the French for some reason.
Then I guess that makes the scene in the nuclear power plant in France a lot more cathartic because Godzilla's saying, "Fuck you, French."
Yeah.
Anything that insults the French. That's probably my favorite scene, mostly because I just hate the French. So anything bad that happens to the French makes me happy. So
man, fuck the French.
Yeah. Um.
Oh, chapati, oui, baguette.
By the way, that scene where he's eating the radiation. Did you know that that scene retroactively breaks Godzilla versus Kong even more because it pretty much confirms that any radiation that could have been extracted from the Hollow Earth could have been extracted from literally anybody anywhere else to create Mechagodzilla and to power him. So they didn't need to send all those people down there to die to get that super duper energy thing from because Rebecca Hall says it's drawing radiation from the core. The axe is drawing radiation from the core. So that blue stuff is radiation, the exact same radiation Godzilla is consuming. So all that proves is that all those people that sent Kong to the Hollow Earth to and used Apex and Monarch to go down there and extract that sample, all of those people died for nothing. So that pretty much confirmed the theory that I had, and that when I realized that, I was just ready to give up. Because that movie did not need any more like retroactive breaking, and somehow it did. Like within the continuity of the bigger scope of the Monsterverse, it didn't need any more world breaking, and somehow they did it.
I find it kind of funny how Wingard's own sequel doesn't even feel like a sequel. it, like, you don't even need to see any of the Monsterverse movies to understand this. There's nothing like important,
not at all. Because they're changing Godzilla's origin like every other movie.
Yeah.
Like 2014, it was just your standard average Godzilla origin. Like he was an alpha predator. Okay, cool. King of the Monsters. Ancient rivalry with King Ghidorah. All right, cool. Godzilla versus Kong. Ancient rivalry with giant apes. All right, cool. Godzilla and Kong. Star Eater.
Dude, that
Fucking
is so
Christ.
stupid. And people actually think he ingested a star. They're using that to power scale him.
Yeah.
The Star Eater Space Godzilla. I'm calling it right now.
Nah. Honestly, at this point, I don't think it will ever happen. But like, because of this movie, how well let's be honest, it's doing well. I don't think they'll do it because of rights and whatnot. But like, Ultraman and Gamera are just perfect for this at this point now. Like, if there's going to be a way for Gamera to be introduced to Western audiences or Ultraman more prominently, the Monsterverse, the way it is now, is the way to do it. But I know damn well they're not even going to let go of Ultraman.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Hollywood with Ultraman with a technical. No.
I mean, they fucked them up in the American the 90s version of Ultraman, so you know.
Why would you even want to like put them under the torture that is the Monsterverse, though?
I mean, the Monsterverse fucked itself because like Monarch is not as soon as King of the Monster rolls out, they just make Monarch a fucking joke. Like even you know, Skull Island had like a few jokes here and there, or whatever else, but like even then they still took it serious to a degree. And then King of the Monsters is just like making fourth wall references of like, hell yeah, let them fight. I love it when Sarazawa used to say that. Like, where the fuck were you at when he said that? Like, I fucking hate King of the Monsters so much.
It just breaks.
What else is there to say? I feel like there's like a small modicum of comments you could make about Godzilla X Kong. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's something. I'm sure.
I mean, it's such it's a very basic bad movie. So
yeah,
it's like there's really not much to say.
It's literally standard. Like I'll give it this. It's definitely better than like fucking Pacific Rim Uprising to a degree. Because I was generally surprised I didn't make any comparisons while watching it. But the biggest issue is that it's just like you're not gonna remember a damn thing after watching it, because the final battle is like so underwhelming that it's over in 5 minutes, and then the movie ends in like 1, and there's no ending credits. Like at least to some degree they always had like a very stylistic opening or closing credits for each movie, but this one had nothing. Like the opening sequence was.
It was just
wasn't
played
even,
over the fight.
I know it wasn't even trying anything.
And I know this is minor, but they got the font wrong.
I am.
It's like this weird, like I don't even know what to call it. It's just weird.
I didn't notice because like it was just hard to see or read because it was at the very bottom. It was at the very edge
While
of the
they're
screen.
fighting.
Yeah, while they're fighting, while Rebecca Hall is giving this stupid, pointless TED talk. You know.
Oh, the TED talk. You remember the
yeah
when it said that the world of the surface and the world of the hollow earth, they're one. No, they're not. Because you need portals to get there.
Yeah, no. I also love how they just go with it that they are actually fucking portals.
Yeah, and they're still gonna gloss over the massive gaping hole in the middle of China that they can just add.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the portals make no sense when, like, Godzilla blows a hole into Hollow Earth, and that's not even a portal. That's just a fucking hole that, like, is exposed and everything.
In the words of Wingard, no one cares. We just want to see monsters fight.
I don't think
I'm
so.
paraphrasing, but that's
of a monster movie.
pretty much what he said.
If he doesn't care enough about his own project to even make it coherent, then he shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Here, let me find the actual quote because I haven't heard this in a while. But
because clearly he doesn't care. Clearly he doesn't
be
care.
good faith. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't give a poop. He doesn't.
He just wants to give out drugs to people. That's basically it. Because that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
This movie is a drug.
See, the reason that Wingard movies make so much money is because he caters to like the most general audience number, where it's just like, oh, I just want to see thing, boom, all that. Like it's just he makes very vapid movies.
Death Note. Has anybody forgotten about Death Note?
Never
Yeah,
seen it. Don't plan to. Actually, hey Jaden, what if we did a Wingard marathon one day?
Do not.
We will.
No.
Yes.
I don't want.
I'm not asking.
I don't want to watch Wingard.
Okay. I know I say this a lot, but come on, guys. He is kind of cute.
What?
Yeah, but I hate him.
He's kind of cute. He's a good-looking guy.
I don't care how cute he may seem. He's not touching my Godzilla with a 10-foot pole. I don't want to touch him.
Well, he did twice, and maybe a third time.
Okay. Let me find the quote. Where is this?
After you get your quote, I do have like a point to make with like the biggest unfortunate thing with Godzilla and Kong.
Let's see. Where is this? This might take a while. Oh, wait, no, I found it.
Let's see this quote.
I can't share the screen right now, so you might want to have to. You might.
Oh, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna recite it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but put it in the chat also, so I can.
Okay, so he's talking about when they're at the Hollow Earth and they're extracting the energy, and Godzilla's about to blow a hole, and they're emailing radiation for Mechagodzilla. So he said we bent over backwards originally to find illogical excuses for the humans to go on this mission, Hollow Earth. And I don't understand it. I don't really know what Kong's doing or why he's actually going there. But anything that's going on, all I know is that it doesn't matter. And we're here. That's where we need to be.
That is such...
I think the audience is going to feel the same.
Is that a direct quote from Adam Wingard?
Yes, I'm reciting it as I listen to it. It's during the Godzilla vs. Kong audio commentary at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and about 40 seconds.
Oh,
35?
no.
Oh, you might want to...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he actually doesn't care.
Well, Rennie?
Oh, can you send it to the group?
I'll have to isolate the clip, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he just doesn't care.
Or even the whole thing that could be useful for the Godzilla versus Kong video that I'm making.
Oh, and then it gets worse. Actually, hold on.
Oh no.
Ultimately, they just want to see big monsters battle each other and see some really cool stuff they've never seen before. And that's what we're offering.
Maybe there's a reason why we haven't seen it before. Ever think of that, Wingard?
Because it sucks.
Yeah. I saw this meme, this post. It was pretty much making fun of people that go, "Oh, this sucks actually," and it's just a picture of a guy in a hot dog riding a skateboard, and it's titled literally the coolest thing ever. I think I don't want to name any names, but I think because that spoke to me. That piece of art spoke to me because it was pretty much the argument that someone in the Godzilla community would make about us talking about their sacred cow like this. Literally the coolest thing ever. Oh, this thing sucks actually. Look how stupid they are. Okay, well, have you listened to our points? Oh, well, the points are stupid because you don't watch a monster movie for a good a good and a deep story. Number one, we're not asking for deep. We just want good. Number two, don't you think Godzilla deserves a good story? I mean, and then that's the thing. Like people up from the depths, like they think that they're not devaluing the Monsterverse by saying that it doesn't need to be good. And I have to ask, like, do they not listen to their own words? Do words no longer hold any meaning anymore? Like, what do you think good means?
I just want to say real quick, we've been blessed in the chat by the appearance of my ex-husband Nate, and he called us the holy word. We're all grifters.
Oh yes, we're all grifters.
Is that what the kids use these days?
Apparently, there's no one I'd rather be called that than by Nate.
I was called a liar once. Like some guy said I was being deceitful in one of my comments in my community posts. I responded to that already, but that was funny. Like I was lying.
I got called a gatekeeper, even though I don't really like -1.
Oh, I got called a gatekeeper too. Like being a gatekeeper is like the highest honor possible. Gatekeeping should be. I think we should gatekeep Godzilla from. Hey, listen. Have you ever heard of the saying, "Hell has open borders, heaven has closed borders"? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, just like America.
Yeah.
Oh, Zimzilla's in the chat. What do you know?
Yeah, we're talking about Big Lizard and Monkey. I mean, it's my turn. You already had your turn, Zimzilla. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, there he goes.
Brayden died.
And he's back from the dead. Welcome back.
I am gonna have to go in a few minutes, but before I do, I'm gonna extract the audio of a Wingard. At the moment, I can only provide audio, but I'll try to get the video when I can. I'd have to do a bunch of transcoding.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, let me grab the audio. So.
Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence. I mean,
of course.
It was,
let's see.
I am gonna go shortly. Not when Brayden does, but a little after, because I do need to get ready to go to the theater.
I've got a half an hour.
Yeah.
I don't really need. Yeah, we're not gonna really spend that much time. I'm almost done myself. I just need like 5 minutes, maybe like 10. I don't know, somewhere.
Okay.
It's
Oh, I do want to say my point though is that like the biggest unfortunate thing with not King of the Monsters, Godzilla and Kong is that they don't push like with what we have with Kong and like on his side of the story is great, but they don't push it enough with the visual storytelling because that whole 5-minute exposition scene from Rebecca Hall talking about how Godzilla trapped all these apes or whatever else, that should have been like a prologue scene at the beginning of the movie to establish that, and then it just builds up the villains early on rather than just the last like 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the biggest unfortunate thing with this movie compared to everything else that nobody seems to be talking about. Because like I think that would have made this movie a hell of a lot better. Was just a straight up prologue scene, but clearly Wingard doesn't care. So
This movie should have
well.
been a Kong movie. Like it should, like it was originally, and we all know this. But like,
Yeah.
it should have been a Kong movie from the very beginning.
Apparently, Godzilla was in it from the start.
No.
Godzilla should not have been in this movie. It would have done the absolute.
I'm
least
tired
amount
of seeing him.
But
Yeah, like I actively do not want to see Godzilla anymore. Like like even with like -1, I'm like I don't want to see him, please.
Like, what are they gonna do to him next?
Exactly. Like I just want.
Space.
Oh no. I could legit see him going to space next movie and doing like the flight thing from Hedora.
You know,
In space.
I'm surprised he didn't do the dropkick. I am surprised.
So am I.
Instead, he just did a suplex.
Oh my god! Oh my
Why would you say that? That's the worst thing
That
ever.
freaking thing.
guys, you hate.
The only thing
Stop hating.
the only thing that I the only good thing to come out of that was Jaden randomly messaging me with that clip and saying "me when I find you."
Damn.
I completely forgot they did a fucking slow motion of the monsters' faces in the final fight.
Yeah,
when they're jumping at
that
each
looked
other?
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I
Also,
was kind of disappointed that they did that.
I sent the audio in chat.
I don't like the texture on Shimo's face. It's so like
I don't like Shimu at all.
it's wrinkly.
I don't. I really
Shimo's
don't.
just a dog.
Yeah. Exactly, Jaden. Your daughter's ugly.
All right, buddy.
No, because like Shimo in the not like an actual dog. Because according to the Call of Duty event that teased Shimo is apparently the god of all titans, and I have to
Bleh.
ask: is the god of all titans a dog? Because that's what Kong treats her as, a dog.
The god of all titans.
That's what they all treat her as.
Skinny.
That is just such horse.
So pathetic.
Remember that animation that that one guy did of Shimo that gave him that one roar that I think Jaden made? I don't know if it was Jaden that made it.
Oh, the Fortnite guy.
Sure.
What's that guy's name? Oh, that
Was it the one that went viral and everyone thought it was an official clip because the
yeah.
official things look awful?
That was actually good. Like that would like the weight, the sound design.
I thought it was fine.
Fortnite Godzilla.
For like it's a good fan animation, very very good fan animation.
Oh,
but,
what's
like,
this?
I wouldn't say it's official level. It was heavy, but it wasn't like kaiju heavy.
I'm watching this clip now.
I gotta find his account. Because he didn't put the clip on his YouTube. All that's there is the stupid Legacy of Poopy thing.
Also, this is just
damn.
This is 100% a personal subjective thing. I hate Godzilla's theme. I'm sick of it.
I think it can
Godzilla's
sound
what?
cool at times, but just
You know
Oh, there he goes.
what? Did Brayden leave?
Oh, my audio's dying.
Oh, the audio. Mine or
No, it's on my end. My headphones are glitching out, but this is probably where I should just dip then. So, I haven't really heard anything any of you said because my headphones are like phasing in and out because they're being autistic. But thanks. I heard Jaden calling me stupid. I heard that.
okay, come on.
But thanks for having me. This was fun. I don't know when I'll watch Dune 2, but
Yeah, you might enjoy it.
have fun, y'all. Probably will. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. I can't believe I made that vote, but to be honest, I'm glad I did because today has been a very horrible day so far. But hey, at least there is an upside to it. A girl is coming home that I'm talking to.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's been in Spain, so she's coming home, so I get to hang out with her again. So yay.
Nice.
But yeah.
Alright.
Oh, this movie. We hate fun, you know. We just
Yes, we
despise
do.
fun. When I told someone that the movie was miserable, he said, "No, oh, you're miserable. That's a you problem, buddy. You're telling me that you didn't have fun with Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. That's a you problem, buddy." And I'm just thinking, so Pacific Rim means nothing to you? Does like all the bad movies that I have said that I have enjoyed, that just does not mean anything to you? And
Hmm.
he just dismissed it by saying, "Oh, you think Pacific Rim is good, so that doesn't matter." Pacific Rim's writing is not perfect, but it's competent enough. All right, and like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but the fact that they even thought of writing it better just goes to show that they would have if it weren't for people like you, people that don't care enough about the medium of monster movie storytelling to really warrant having good writing. This is why I love Attack on Titan, because at least with Attack on Titan, it tries to write things properly with their giant monsters. It fails a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time. It fails because they get the mechanics wrong in their own story, or like you get a lot of contrivances. People survive things that they shouldn't, etc. Um,
Mm.
like Attack on Titan has become over time very contrived, and then there was the ending, which sucked. They turned Aaron Yeager into a cuck. I still I still hold that anime very near and dear to my heart, and I'm very excited for Kaiju number 8 that's coming out soon. It's probably going to be among the better Kaiju content out there, hopefully. I mean, I don't know how well written Kaiju number 8 is in the manga, but I'm hoping it's well written enough in the anime for me to enjoy it. Um
Yeah.
um
Alright.
but yeah.
I'm gonna head off.
Oh, you're going to head off?
So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Any
This was good. Huh?
any final thoughts or
I mean, Godzilla and Kong is just not something to be hung over about. Like it. The unfortunate thing is, it's just your standard Hollywood film that's just going to be forgotten about like 1 month later. So
yeah.
no one's going to be talking about it. Nobody is going to be. That's the thing that Godzilla fans
Yeah.
is going to continue to talk about -1 and want to see it. And Godzilla versus Godzilla and Kong, everyone's gonna forget about it, but be like, oh yeah, that happened. That was fun. I enjoyed that, and just move on to
Mm.
whatever else they put out. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it was okay. So yeah,
The product of its time.
definitely this time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, peace out.
Peace out, man.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye. I guess that just
10:41.
leaves the two of us. You got anything to say, Jaden, or
I'm horrified.
mortified?
I'm going to see it in about 2 hours. I don't want to.
I mean, you can always just watch Dune, but
I could. Heard that was good. I want to see it.
uh, um, oh, there's a new Ultraman movie coming out. The
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Ultraman Rising. It's on Netflix. It's the animation. It's just yet another, it takes inspiration from Spider-Verse, the animation.
Uh,
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, it's not that it looks bad. It's just that, oh yeah, Spider-Verse influenced this one on yet another one that I don't have a problem with it. I'm just kind of tired of seeing it. It's not bad looking. It's just tiresome. Like ever since Spider-Verse came out, people have been trying to replicate it. Some successfully, like Arcane, because Arcane was pretty good.
mhm.
And then Encanto. I think it was Encanto that tried to do it and failed. That movie's like it is ugly as sin. Um, yeah, no, the Ultraman Rising and Kaiju number 8 are probably the best, and probably the best Kaiju content to come out this year, as well as maybe Gamera wasn't this year. And then last year it was Gamera Rebirth and Godzilla -1. It's probably the best thing to come out of kaiju content that year, and then this year is probably kaiju number 8, and yeah, there's really not much to look forward to. I mean, toy sales, people,
Just kind of bare.
yeah, they're gonna hype it up as they're gonna make a bunch of memes. I think memes are gonna keep the movie alive because it's just so stupid
Yeah.
of a movie that we can have like these ridiculous memes. Like the scene of a guy just trash talking Kong and then Kong knocking his lights out. That's the very popular meme, and it's gonna stay alive for quite some time, which is gonna keep the movie relevant for maybe a couple more months.
Yep.
But yeah, no, this movie is. It made me sad. You know, it made me sad because now this is what Godzilla has become. I've always been. I've recently, realized that the more Godzilla can mean anything, the less he means something in particular, and so his meaning starts to become more and more diluted. And as his meaning becomes more and more diluted, eventually starts to mean nothing. And so, like, when you don't have like a concrete identity, if you don't like have like an identity, a concrete something that you could latch onto, something that not necessarily that it may or may not resonate with people, but something solid.
Yeah.
And then you start to fluctuate between all these different things. You start to dilute your own identity, and then you mean nothing. And then, like, if you can mean any, it's kind of like what Syndrome said in The Incredibles. If everyone is super, nobody is. So like, if Godzilla can mean anything, that means he means nothing. Because calling Godzilla versatile is not really as much of a feature of Godzilla as much as it is a detrimental side effect of Godzilla's influence in pop culture throughout all of time. And it's unfortunate. It's the time we live in, though. Hopefully I can rise from the ranks in Hollywood and maybe, I don't know, write a good Godzilla movie and show these fools how it's done. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, if the group chat leaks, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it is over. Yeah, I don't know how you could counter when people call you boring when you, because Dune, for example, it's such a fascinating world, and I've mentioned it like 1,000 times already, but it's just a movie that's been on my mind right now. It's been on my mind ever since I watched it. Even before I watched it, it's been on my mind, and after seeing it, it's even more on my mind than it was before. So it's a very powerful movie, and if you want to go like on a different route, if you want to go like a different movie like Pacific Rim or literally any other movie, I don't think the accusation of being a boring person or being a miserable person really holds any weight. So
Yeah.
no, it's an ad hominem basically. It holds no merit in a discussion. It is just an ad hominem. It means nothing. But I guess that's it. I guess that's it for
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for today's stream. Thank you all the people that managed to be here. Thank you, Jaden, for joining. You were an unexpected but welcome surprise. Any final thoughts before we end things?
I don't know. It's just hopefully, like you said, there's a little change in how they're doing all of it, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
We'll see how the movie is, because I have to go watch it today, and I'm not expecting much.
Well, it's Easter. Hopefully you have hopefully the blessings of Brayden rub off of you via osmosis and protect you from the cringe.
the wing guard.
Yeah. Well, thank you all those that watched. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Thank you all for witnessing this travesty that was a stream. And yeah, I am now going to kill myself. Thank you all for watching, and